Hello and welcome to How It Happened, a new series where instead of providing like an overview of the game like we do in 5 Things We Learned, we look at the big moments in detail and analyse how they happened. Unfortunately, I'm yet to actually look at a Manchester United goal since I've started doing this, but 2-0 against Newcastle. There's still a lot of things to go through, so that we're going to cover in this video. 2 players at fault for both goals, really. And yeah, let's get into it. So this is the first goal. It comes after only 3 minutes on the clock. It starts here with Bruno on the ball. Now, both Ahmad and Casemiro initially, they are the biggest danger. Looks like it's an inside pass here. Maybe Christian Eriksen, it's difficult to tell from this angle, is cutting that out, but certainly Casemiro you would hope would be tracking the runner better. But actually what ends up happening is Bruno ends up switching the ball out wide to Lewis Hall. Lewis Hall receives the ball, and like I say, the biggest danger here actually looks like it's the pullback. You look at Isak, and he looks almost marked by Martinez. Martinez could be further in front, but he can certainly make up that ground by the time that Lewis Hall sort of receives it and puts the ball in. And it, like I say, the biggest issue from here is Casemiro. He is making ground on, I think that's Joe Linton, but you would expect him to be closer. And then there's Anthony Gordon here as well that is unmarked. So they look like the biggest threat. We look outnumbered here. There's three players here, and we've got 2 in Ahmad and Casemiro that need to be closer, need to be goal side. And you can actually see here that Mazraoui is not sprinting to the ball. You can't really tell in this still image, but trust me, Mazraoui is jogging over to Lewis Hall. So as you can see, because Mazraoui didn't sprint, he should be absolutely bursting a ball, because this is that was a difficult ball for Lewis Hall to receive. The ball's come over. He's got one touch. It's sort of bounced in the air. It's hit the ground, and then he's delivered the cross in. That's a difficult skill to do, and certainly if Mazraoui is putting the pressure on him, sprinting at him to try and close down that space as soon as possible, then he might not be able to put this ball in. And certainly look at the distance between them. That is not good enough. He needs to be closer. He needs to be able to get a significant block. I think he actually does get a touch on it, and it sort of loops over Maguire. But he needs to have closed down Lewis Hall a lot closer. Now I want you to show you Martinez. I want to bring your attention to Martinez in here. Look at his body positioning from this, which this is just as the ball is being played in. Again, you would want him to be a lot closer to Isak here, especially considering that there's nobody on the back post. He's not got to worry about a player on the back post here. So therefore, Martinez should be in front of Isak, and then Maguire can actually focus on. Casemiro's made up the ground now. So Casemiro is marked. Joe Linton, I think, is the closest. So if Martinez comes in his goal side of Isak, Maguire can sort of step into this area and mark this player. I don't know who it is coming in. But instead, look at Martinez's body position. He's leaning forward there, and just as the ball is coming in, Not even when the ball is in flight. The ball, you can't see it very well here, but the ball is actually in flight here. He adjusts his body position and he's actually standing. All the weight is on his back foot here. Like, I don't know why he's done it. He's almost anticipating a pullback and he's stopped running. Like, you can see it really well. I've included this image here because you can see it really well. Look at his body shape. It's leaning away. All of his weight is on his back foot. So the ball's coming in here to Isak. And Martinez is completely out of the game because his body position is all wrong. He's leaning away. He's anticipating almost the ball being put in here. And if the ball does get put in there and one of these two players scores, that's not Martinez's fault. I don't know why he's worried about that. You know, do your job. As Isak runs in, if everyone does their job in this situation, there is not a goal scored. But unfortunately, and I don't really know why, because the ball is actually is left Lewis Hall's boot, and it's well on the way. In Martinez is still sort of shifting direction to go here. And then what happens? The ball, Isak finds the pocket. He's a very good striker, one of the best, if not the best, in the Premier League at the moment. Finds the pocket of space between the two and heads it in. It's an easy finish, unchallenged. Martinez recognises the danger way too late. And by the time he recognises it, he can get absolutely nowhere near him. So that's the first goal. So two players at fault there. We might revisit these two players. Mazraoui not getting anywhere near Lewis Hall for the cross, not closing down quick enough, and Martinez losing his marker. So this I've included because it just shows, even when we have players back, we can just go from being in a good position to absolutely shit in the bed in the space of seconds. So this was Isak's chance where he went to dink this. He made a bit of a hash of this, to be honest, where he tried to dink it over Onana here and it just went straight into his hands. But look at this. It's embarrassing. It's genuinely embarrassing defending. Look at the clock. 16:39. Eriksen has just lost the ball to Bruno on the edge of our area, of the box in Newcastle's half. So we were in a good position, you know, in the final third. Eriksen loses the ball. 3 seconds later, 16:42, Isak is in. That's how quickly you can go from being in a good position to screwed at United. And it's so easy to see. We've got 1, 2, 3 men back. Isak is the only Newcastle player up. There's nobody anywhere near him for Newcastle. How can we have numbers back and still manage to find ourselves in this position? That is criminal. And it's easy to see. So Martinez was sort of filling this space here. Maguire's the furthest man back, and obviously De Ligt's over here. If Newcastle have one man back, like, this is how we should have set up. Martinez is on, marking Isak. Maguire is then either filling the space, or even better, Martinez is marking Isak. Maguire is sort of the defensive cover. And then De Ligt is in here filling the space. Because then you've got one guy marking, you've got one guy is sort of the sweeper as such in Maguire for if the ball goes long over the top. And you've got De Ligt filling that gap, filling all this empty space here. You know, if the ball, we've got the ball, right? Eriksen's just won it. If there is a big switch, De Ligt's got time to sort of shift over. The whole team has to shift over, and the Newcastle players. De Ligt's got enough time to cover that ground. But the way to get a chance from us having the ball in the final third to 3 seconds later, Isak being in, doesn't make any sense. It is just shocking defense. It's less than Sunday League. You know, if that happens at Sunday League, the manager's going ballistic at the players. And this is football's, you know, the best league in the world. We are Manchester United, and this is happening. It's an absolute joke. Right, on to the second goal, Joe Linton's goal. So, again, here is a similar situation on the left-hand side. Anthony Gordon picks up the ball, only just past the halfway line. So he's got a lot of space to run into. Mazraoui is over that side. He's providing the defensive cover. So Gordon makes his way all the way to the byline. Now, almost the byline. I'm okay with that. You know, you don't want Mazraoui, like Ahmad's nowhere near providing any cover, right? So on the halfway line, I don't want Mazraoui putting in a challenge. You know, because if he skips by him, then he's in. Or De Ligt's got to come over to him. You know, you shouldn't. He's fine. He's fine. Sort of shepherding him out into a wide area, but when he makes a offensive action, whether it's putting in a cross or whether it's cutting inside to look to shoot, that's when Mazraoui needs to act, right? Needs to put in a challenge, needs to put in a block. But look how easy it is, right? Gordon's right-footed, so you know he's going to be desperate to cut inside on that right foot. Next slide. He cuts inside and he puts the ball in. And look when he puts the ball in, he's nowhere near him. Not close enough. Look at the distance between the two. So that's now 2 goals in the space of 20 minutes in which it's come down the left-hand side, 2 crosses, Mazraoui nowhere near both of them. And we know who scores it. It's Joe Linton here. I mean, you'll see from a better angle coming up. But as this ball comes in, Maguire is marking Isak, and you'll see really good defending from Maguire. Martinez, you're up against Joe Linton. You're not going to match him in the air, right? He's about 1'5" taller than you. 1'5" taller than you, so you're not going to match him. So what you have to do, you have to put him off his stride. Don't allow him to have the perfectly timed run in. Don't allow him to, you know, time the run so he's going to run onto it perfectly, time his jump perfectly and head it in. You don't want to get into a jumping match with Joe Linton. You've got to come across and make it difficult. Look how close Maguire is. And granted, Joe Linton's made a run from midfield, so and Isak stayed up top there. But when Christian Eriksen passes him over here, which he should pass him over to, I don't want Christian Eriksen coming in and forming part of the defensive line. Christian Eriksen should pass Martinez, the midfielder here. He's got to get across him. Make it difficult for him. But instead, they they meet the ball, the cross comes in, they meet the ball at exactly the same time, so it becomes a jumping match. There's only going to be one winner. Joe Linton heads it in. Now this is the perfect view. So he's cut it. He's not crossing the ball at the moment. He's just cut in on that right foot. Again, you can see the distance here. Look how many players we have back. They've got 2 in the box. Delot, this man, Delot is, if there is a big switch, Delot's got enough time to make his way to him. So Martinez has got nobody to worry about here. Nobody at all. The only player Martinez has to worry about is Joe Linton. So as this is coming in, instead of meeting Joe Linton here, where the header takes place, you've got to stop him from being able to time his run. And again, look at Maguire. Let me go back a slide. Look at Isak. It doesn't matter whether or not the ball's played to Isak. If the ball's played backwards to Isak, he's not going to get enough power on that header because Maguire's got him wrapped up. He's not going to, the ball travelling backwards, he's not got the momentum to head that with power back across to beat Onana. Sometimes it's not just about being good in the air. It's about just stopping your player before, in not allowing him to have a chance of getting a clean header. It's about you're never going to win the aerial duel, especially Martinez, right? Maguire's quite good in the air. But you don't want to, if you're Martinez, you need to think, you don't want to go up against strikers or midfielders like Joe Linton in the air. You don't want an aerial duel. You need to be more clever how to stop that, or at least how to put a player off. You can't just try and compete with jumping. And look, like I say, you go from here, Isak and Maguire are in a similar position. Martinez should be probably about here. But similar position. As the ball comes in, he's all tied up. Isak, he's never going to score. Joe Linton, on the other hand, out jumps Martinez, of course he does, and it's a goal. So that's 2 goals now that had been the same 2 players in 20 minutes. They don't score again. Mazraoui, who, granted, he's been so good for so long for United since coming in. The last 3 or 4 games, terrible. In Martinez, I really think we should stop. We should stop playing him. He's been by far the worst player in that back 3 consistently for a good number of games. We need to start playing Lenny Yoro in over him. And it's been crosses as well. And I love Martinez, but he's had a torrid season, especially since Amorim's come in. And I've included this one as a bonus meme. And again, this just shows how bad we are, and something that I've never seen before in my life. I've never seen a team be so bad from corners that teams are now shooting from corners like it's a free kick. Twice Trippier had a corner. This is the second of the 2. The first one went near post, and Onana, I think, just put it out for another corner. And this one, it either hits the bar or almost goes in the top corner. And we are scrambling. Not only are we bad at marking in the box for corners, they're not even bothered about crossing it in. They're shooting directly from a corner. I've never seen that in my entire life. Shooting from a corner. And why would you not? Because we saw Bayendire get beaten from a corner against Spurs, and we thought, oh, God. At least, you know, there's a big drop off, isn't there, from Bayendire to Onana. The next week, Onana gets beaten from a corner. We can't have it that every single cross, every single corner, we look like we're going to concede. And that is the biggest thing since Amorim's come in. Set pieces and crosses. Because sometimes from open play, we don't look too bad, like defensively. But set pieces and crosses, we've been horrific. So that's it. That is how it happened. That is a breakdown of each goal. Give me your thoughts about the series in general. Whether you sort of enjoy the in-depth view into each goal. And yeah, give me your thoughts. Am I being too harsh on Mazraoui or Martinez? Would love to hear your thoughts. And yeah, please do like and subscribe. I do appreciate you watching. It is New Year's Day, so Happy New Year as well. And 2025, it surely can't get much worse than 2024. I'll leave you with that.